And good morning. It's so good to be with you all this morning, Thursday morning, and it's warm. What can I say?
It's going to be warm, I heard, for the next 3 months.
Okay, you got that? Straight from Anne-Marie Brewer, my co-host today. I'm Nancy Kaysen. Anne-Marie was with...
I'm your weatherman, and
she is.
Telling you,
she
I
has
heard
told
it
you.
Announced yesterday on TV that we need to look forward to hot weather and possible storms.
Oh, we don't want to hear the word storms.
No.
Anne-Marie's with Sky Ridge Medical Center, but she's today co-hosting with me because Brene is being a grandmother.
Yep, she's out there again.
And she's having a big time doing that as she kind of rolls her eyes. And I'm Nancy Kaysen. I have a little gift shop downtown called The Red Ribbon, in case you all don't know who I am. And we're just thrilled to death to have you with us this morning. And it's just, how do you dress?
You dress knowing that you may take something off
That's
during
right.
the day.
Layered.
Because it's cool at work and
That's
it's
right.
warm outside.
The layered look, that's what you need to do.
That's
and
what you
that's
have
what
to
I
do.
have done today and Anne-Marie has done today. And if you notice, this is not the same sweater that Brene had on last week.
No.
It's my sweater from Healthy Woman and that Anne-Marie
Almost wore this morning. Should have called her.
There we go. So,
And next time I'll be in it and she won't. So we'll just move it on down.
We're just going to rotate around in our zebra sweater, in our Healthy Woman zebra sweater. Now, as Brene always says to you all in the mornings, get out your paper and pencil because we're getting ready to tell you what's happening in Cleveland.
And we've got lots.
And we do have lots. So today, from 11 to 1, from 11 to 1, the Moms Club of Cleveland is hosting a free preschool PDO fair at the YMCA. So preschools from all over Cleveland will be there to answer all of your questions, and free childcare will be provided by the YMCA. So if you're interested in what kind of preschool you need to put your child in, from 11 to 1 today at the YMCA.
And we have some people coming into Cleveland today for the Cleveland Caboose speech debate, which begins today at Westwood Baptist Church. About 150 high school age speakers and debaters from Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas will be here for the 3-day competition. If you're interested, you can call 423-284-5886. They need judges. So if you're interested in attending, I'll repeat that, 284-5886.
And they do need judges, folks, and it takes about 100 judges to do this event.
Oh, really? Golly.
Yes, a real good friend of mine, Chuck Cricklow, has judged, I think, for several years. So I think they need 3 hours of your time, and it's a 3-day event, so give them a call. All right, and tonight, Lee University Percussion Group will present their spring concert under the direction of Dr. Andy Harnsberger and conductor Brandon Wood. Now, this concert is at the Conn Center. It's at 7:30, and it is free to the public, like almost all of Lee's events. I understand one of the songs they're going to do in this, and we're going to have a real band director here with us in just a little while, but they're going to take pieces of furniture and things from your home and play them.
Oh, my gosh.
I think that's going to be fascinating.
When that's
I don't know.
Tonight.
It's tonight. It's tonight at 7:30 at the Conn Center. So you might want to just go over there and at least hear that part of the music.
That sounds like it goes along with your Cherries Jubilee
It
somehow.
might. I have no idea.
Which is coming up, too.
It is.
And then also this weekend, or next weekend, sorry, Saturday, March 31st, is the Great Strides Run for Cystic Fibrosis. We actually have a team going there.
Fantastic.
Runners will line up facing south on Parker Street. So remember this, it's going to probably be closed down. For the 8:30 start for the 65 Roses 5K. The walkers will begin at 10 a.m. And for more information, you can contact Lee University. Here's another number, 614-8406, or visit their website, www.leeuniversity.edc/cf. The Hammonds actually are in charge of this, Vanessa and Jerome, and they've heard some exciting news about a new drug, so they're very happy about that.
Because one of their twin sons has CF, and there is a new drug that they're very, very excited about. So, you know, these events like this that support these chronic illnesses, it's great for you to participate in them because they may find cures for these.
And it's members of our society, you know, that are affected by it.
Stageworks of Cleveland is a new community theater group hoping to have its first show this fall. Any fan or lover of theater who needs to be on stage in front of audiences, that could be either one of us.
You know what? That was my background, actually.
Behind the scenes or in the audience is invited to a public forum on March the 29th at 7:30 in the Fairfield Inns and Suites at 2815 West Side Drive. And this is something Cleveland needs badly, folks. But not only do we need this organization, we need a place to have
a community theater.
A community theater. Flavis and I go up to Athens a lot, to the Black Box, the Sue Trotter Black Box. In fact, tonight, Friday night, and Saturday, they're having the Three Tenors there, which should be wonderful. If you and I don't have that phone number. Ellen Kimball emailed me yesterday, and I was going to write that down. And
go online to their chamber or something. I'll probably
to the Chamber of Commerce there.
They'll have it.
But that's a wonderful. It used to be a grocery store, and they've made a black box theater out of it. And I grew up in Athens, and I remember going in that grocery store and turning left and getting a donut. So now that's not what you do, but it's wonderful. And if Athens could do it, folks, Cleveland could do it. So we need a theater here for performances.
Didn't we have one a long time ago?
We had a black box theater over at the Village.
By the Village, yeah. Because I knew I'd been to there.
Right. And I'm sure that our next guest, Don Bendrum, is going to talk to you about the fact that we need that also. He may just put in a plug
we're
also.
Segueing into our next
Segue, but we're not ready to go to our next guest yet.
And here's something somebody might want to attend. A classic comedy night at the Cleveland Library, which will be March 27th, which is next Tuesday, in their community room. It's Abbott and Costello's Africa Screams. Africa Screams.
We'll be playing. Screams.
And everyone's invited to this free family fun event.
My uncle had a whole lot of Abbott and Costello 8mm, I guess is what they were, movies, and we used to go over to his house and watch them, and they were hysterical. They're black and white. They're funny. They're funny.
And these guys are funny.
Now, we were talking to our first guest a minute ago because his wife has a catering business in Athens, and we were talking about this, the Great Purple Cupcake Project, and that's Eat a Purple Cupcake. And this is from March 20th to the 26th. Bakeries across the United States and worldwide will make purple cupcakes in an effort to promote awareness of a condition that affects more than 3 million Americans and more than 50 million people worldwide, and that is epilepsy. So the Great Purple Cupcake Project, I don't know that any of our bakeries here are participating in that. If not, you might want to go in and tell them you want a purple cupcake because it is in support of epilepsy awareness.
Yeah, and they have the rest of the week to do that.
Absolutely.
It started Monday.
Absolutely.
And the Salvation Army is holding disaster training classes March 30th and 31st at the Salvation Army Citadel Course. And it's on 1019 North Moore Road in Chattanooga. You can exit that off of I-75. Classes will give volunteers the tools necessary to serve on a Salvation Army disaster response team. If you're interested in this free training, call 423-756-1023. I see why Bernae says to have that pen and paper ready.
That's right, because we're going to tell you all of these things that you need to know about and do. Now, Sky, Come Fly Away with Us, the Salvation Army Spring Break Camp, will be at the Boys and Girls Club on 3rd Street from 10 to 1 each day, March 26th through 30th. And this would be a spring break opportunity for you parents that are thinking, oh, they're going to be home all day. You know, because I used to think that when mine was young. Oh, he's going to be home all day. Well, you can send him to this camp from 10 to 1 every day. And David Munford is the person you need to contact there. And that phone number is 310-4827. 310-4827. And you call David Munford and see what they're going to have. Different activities every day. They're going to have... I'm sure there will be a Bible study in there because it's Salvation Army, but they're going to have all kinds of different activities every day. So it'd be a great opportunity for you to get your child out of the house during spring break if you're not planning on going away.
And Salvation Army's busy again because Saturday evening they will do One Night with the King, and it's a prom for teenage mothers. So for more information, call Gina Ballinger at 457-5602. And
this is a wonderful opportunity because these teenage mothers often miss the proms at the high school and this and that and the other. And also, I think if you stop down by the Salvation Army, I think they're also looking for prom dresses.
Yeah, they did.
Prom shoes.
Right.
You know, if you've got anything that you can contribute to help them out, this is a really good cause, folks. And of course, we all know what the Salvation Army does.
They're great.
I mean, they're super. And after all of the devastating tragedies we've had here in Bradley County, they've been right there with the Red Cross.
That and the Angel Tree Project that they do every Christmas.
Every Christmas. And they're wonderful. Have you been to their coffee shop yet?
You ask me that every time I come on.
And I have not either.
And I'm going to say, I'm not a coffee person, so I haven't been
No,
there.
you're not. You drink those big Cokes all day.
Yes, I do.
And so, but anyway, stop there and get you a cup of coffee or a muffin and whatever, and support the Salvation Army, folks, because they need you. Now, the 31st at the museum, they will be having the Appalachian Face Mug Day, and there's 2 workshops. One's from 10 to 11:30, and another's from 1 to 2:30. There is a cost for this workshop, but children over 7 are welcome, but must be accompanied by an adult. So you need to call the museum, 339-5745, 339-5745 for more information about that. But you make a mug. It has a face on it.
Right.
And it's going to coincide with their Appalachian exhibit that's coming in, that I think Lisa's going to be on with me next week to talk about and tell us everything that's happening.
Going on. And the last we have on here is April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Not a nice topic, but
right.
It's something that we know is happening. The Family Violence Program will be holding a Healing Through Art display at the Cleveland Public Library from April 15th to the 21st. And you can call the library and get more information. I've been to this. I actually was on the board with Family Violence, and it's unbelievable what they do. Have you ever been to that?
No, I need to do that.
You need. It really is. And then they also bring that art to the candle lighting ceremony that they have at another time of year. I don't remember the exact date, and display that too. So.
That's a horrible thing to think about.
Yes, it is.
Family violence.
But we have a great center here for these people.
Do.
It's unbelievable, and they work on very little money. So, and I'm sure people know we do have a family violence center here. So we don't know where it is.
No,
but
you're not supposed to know where it is.
No, you're not supposed. No one knows where it is, and but it's there for people, and they'll do whatever they can for everyone. They also help them not only to progress in this relationship, but they also help them to establish themselves with jobs and all kinds of things. Just a great organization.
And it's needed. And it's a shame that it's needed, but it's wonderful that we have it. A couple of other little quick things. Lee University's Department of Business and the Internal Revenue Service, up until April 14th, they will be doing income tax, helping you with income tax every Friday and Saturday. You need to call 614-8667 and find out about that if you need help with your income tax, because you have until April the 15th.
Is it the 18th?
Oh, well, that's on a Sunday, so I think it goes to a Saturday. Anyway, and then I know Sky Ridge is doing something for the walk.
Which we're doing all kinds of.
I know Sky Ridge.
Oh,
is
Relay
wonderful.
for Life.
Relay for Life.
Oh my goodness, yes. We have actually 2 booths. Yeah, I cannot divulge what our theme is, because we will be selling items, we will be displaying items, and we want to keep it a secret so no one steals our ideas.
Of course not.
But the theme this year for everyone is to pick a holiday, and they gave you holidays to pick, so first come, first serve. So ours, actually, we can tell you this, it's Earth Day. We're not selling the earth.
Oh, okay.
But you can kind of guess.
Are you selling?
We're selling dirt.
Okay. Hey, that is good. That is good.
Maybe dirt cake. But, you never know.
And that is the first weekend of May around the square.
The 4th and 5th. The 4th and 5th. So.
And they encourage people to come out and participate, or come out and go to these booths and purchase things, because this money is going toward breast cancer.
Yes.
And that's another one of those things that if you don't financially support it, we're not going to find a cure, folks. But I will plug for the banner because they have T-shirts on sale there for $10 a piece. They have all sizes. They have small through 3X. So if you stop by the banner, you can buy a T-shirt, and that will help support their team.
Well, can I segue into that?
Yes, you may.
Next week, and I wished I had that date with me, but I'll give it to you actually for your next show, because I think it is on next Thursday. We're having a bake sale at the hospital. Anyone can come, so that you will have desserts for Easter. And all that money is going to go to Relay. And then we'll be selling the, oh gosh, what are they called? Just thinking of them now. The lighted,
Luminaries.
Luminaries, thank you.
That's all right. Renee and I play that routine all the time.
They'll be selling those. Yeah. Thank you, and you figure it out. Usually you finish my sentences anyway. So, April 5th we'll be doing that. And at the hospital, that's also Healthy Woman Night. And Dr. Torrance from the ER will be talking on common emergent signs and symptoms in the ER. And we'll have a bake sale still available there for the members that come to Healthy Woman.
Oh, neat. Okay. And you can go online and join Healthy Woman. If you're not a member of Healthy Woman, you should do that. It's very, very simple.
It's free. You go online to skyridgemedicalcenter.net, click on the pink link, Healthy Woman, and sign in free, and you'll get the notices monthly through email. You'll get a postcard, which I'm mailing today for the next quarter, and then you'll get all kinds of information you might need, health-wise on there.
And that's Dr. Torrance is going to come and tell us, because he says sometimes you have these symptoms, you don't need to come to the emergency room, but like chest pains, don't sit at home and think about it.
Yeah.
Get yourself to the emergency room and let's find out what's going on. So this would be a great time. Plus, he's pretty easy on the eyes.
He's easy on the eyes.
Yeah, so, you really probably want to come out for that event. Yeah. We're going to take a real quick little commercial break, and we're going to come back with Don Bendrum, who is the director of the Greater Cleveland Community Concert Bands. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on, and he needs some volunteers, so he's going to ask for that too. So don't go away. We will be right back.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Discover great local programming right here on WTMB East Tennessee Television. Tune in weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. for Tennessee Valley This Morning to find out what's going on in your local area. Watch East Tennessee Shopper with Joe and Kim Palo live every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Get caught up in all the latest sports action. Watch In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with replays at midnight. All this and more on WTNB East Tennessee Television.
Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open in Cleveland. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment, clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, migraine headaches, even sprains and injuries. It is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level, providing an array of health benefits. So whether you're dealing with a weekend sports injury, chronic condition, or looking for anti-aging, you owe it to yourself to explore what Hyperbaric Services can do for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what two of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. I get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
I'll tell you about that. And we are back from our first break, and we have with us a gentleman sitting here amongst the ladies, and this is Don Bendrum, and he is the director of the Greater Cleveland Community Concert Bands. And I say bands because we do have more than one band.
All kinds of bands.
We have all kinds of bands. And he even has me playing now.
Right, you play flute and...
Last year.
I don't play anything
well,
but cards.
I was going to say, I'd look funny in that sweater if you were just passing it down.
No, it's going to be the striped one.
Oh, the striped one. That's even
This
worse.
is it. That's
Appreciate your
That's the one
enthusiasm,
to get.
though.
So, Don, tell us what's happening.
Hey, April 24th, we're doing a concert. It's called One Nation Under God. It's about April 1865, One Nation Under God. And what we're doing is we're celebrating the conclusion of the Civil War. We finally get that behind us, and now the issue is how do we rebuild, and how did that rebuilding affect Bradley County and Cleveland? I've spent hours of research in the library, putting the program together, producing it. There's some very interesting facts that I think the people will be very shocked about if they come to the concert. There's a lot of things that were going on. Cleveland was divided, Bradley County was divided, families were divided on which way to go and how to do it. And then when the war was finally over, there was a lot of issues that we all had to deal with in this area. So musically, we're going to cover those issues and inspire you to rebuild and keep things together and work together. I think it's going to be a pretty good program.
The music is beautiful, folks, and that one song that I never can remember,
Ashokan Farewell.
Ashokan Farewell, that is absolutely one of the prettiest. I mean, it'll just almost bring tears to your eyes just listening to it. It is gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
And we have a fiddler.
And the flute player is wonderful.
I played last year flute. Don't get excited.
So do you do a narrative with it too?
Yeah, we tell a story rather than it being a sit-down concert that most people are used to. When you say concert, people think, oh yeah, I was at school and I got stuck in the auditorium listening to this concert. That's not what we do. What we do is we try to tell a story. And it just so happens as we tell that story, we play music. And the music brings you and transports you to the place and the time of what the story is about. We got a lot of emails to my email address and the band's email address about the last program we did for Christmas. That show reflected upon how Christmas, what it's like to be away as a soldier, serving the country. This story is going to talk about rebuilding, and we use the music to help tell that story and bring us along, and we try to transport you there. We've got slides that are going to be produced that are going to be shown. The program is going to be over at Bradley High School in the new theater. We're excited about working with Gwen and Chris Ware over there at the school to put this program together. There's some technical issues we got to worry about because I had a different place in mind, but we're excited about bringing it over there. And what's really great is that it looks like we finally have a performance home.
Yes, and that is wonderful.
So now we don't have to worry about panicking about when the next program is going to be and how we can get that venue. Bradley County, the school program, the school theater over there is open to us for each of our programs for the next 2 years.
And I asked one of the Bradley students the other night at band, I said, what are we calling this new building? And he said, the Fine Arts Center.
Right.
So that's wonderful. So it's the Fine Arts Center.
And they did a really nice job, and it looks the school looks really great with that addition on there. It's going to be a great thing. Gwen Schweier is the technical director over there. He's helped me understand what facility they have and how to use that facility for our program. We do slides. We've got music going on. We're telling a story. We've introduced a violinist, Celia Shaneyfeld. She's a local violin teacher. She teaches fiddle as well as violin, and I play with her over at First Baptist in our little church orchestra. And I asked her if she'd be interested in joining us on this program because there weren't a whole lot of concert bands like what we're doing during that time. And I wanted to try and introduce that time, kind of bring us back to where people didn't reach in their back pocket and yank out a tuba, you know, but they may have had on the field a violin. And by bringing in that element that helps transport you to the field of battle, and it brings you into the resolutions that were happening here in Cleveland and Bradley County. Because everybody had some sort of a musical instrument in their parlor back then. Those little guitars were called parlor guitars. There was little pianos. There was, you know, flutes, fifes, kind of things, and drums, of course. And we'll be talking about also the casualties of the war. There were drummers, and there were fifes, and there were buglers, and a lot of the guys that led the front were not soldiers.
No, and
not
they
the
were
soldiers
like
as
12
we
years
think
old.
about soldiers, but they were actually children. 12, 10, 14, 16-year-old children carrying the flags, leading the charge. Buglers making the call to lead the charge. And those ranks suffered the highest amount of casualties.
And we're playing a beautiful song by Dr. Hollinger from
Holsinger.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Holsinger, from Lee University, that is kind of a tribute to those young people.
Right.
And the tune is Jesus Loves the Little Children.
Right.
But it goes, oh my goodness, it's an awesome piece.
It's a little bit, it's got some different flavors to it. It's, you know, it's very solemn in one point, which is what we're trying to, the story we're trying to tell. I sat and I talked to Dr. Holsinger about what we're going to do and how we're going to use his piece, and he's quite thrilled with it.
Oh,
you
fantastic.
know, I was a little bit worried that, you know, because what we're doing isn't exactly what he had in mind when he composed it, but he's excited about what we're going to do and the treatments we're going to give his composition.
I think that's great. Now, a couple of things that we need.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes. And we need volunteers, and Don's going to tell you how to get in touch with him to volunteer.
On the bottom of the screen is the phone number you can reach me at, and also an address where you can make a donation or contact us at. What I'd really like to have is as much information as you may have from your family about who may have served during the war. I would like to include those photographs and that memorabilia in our program. Also, we need volunteers to be our ushers and people to help bring people to their seats and to take tickets and all that kinds of things. And I want to use period garb, and I want to use people that are familiar with that time and place. Remember, we're not giving a concert. We're transporting you to a time and a place and telling a story.
And reenactors. I know there are Civil War reenactors out there. I know that for a fact. I could even name some of you. Would you please give Don a call at Tudor's Music and let him know that you would be willing to give us a couple of hours of your time that night to help us make this so authentic. And there was a picture in the history part of the banner one day about some Civil War survivors, old gentlemen. I think it was made in 1890 or something, and it was Mr. Shamlin had turned that in. So Mr. Shamlin, if you're listening to us this morning and you have some more of those Civil War photos, would you please let us use those? Because even the band, the night that we did the Christmas one, watching the big screen, it was very emotional to see the soldiers actually in location during the war.
Because we tied it all together.
And it was beautiful. So and approximately how many members do we have in the band?
65 come to rehearsals on average. Then the jazz band is made up of another 22 people. From that, we have smaller ensembles like a brass quintet, a woodwind trio, and basically a roving music department. We've
Absolutely.
got a lot of things going for the community.
Busy.
And I mean, people say to us all the time, well, you know, especially when they come to my store and they say, well, I used to play. And I'm like, hey, don't used to play. You can find an instrument, you can rent an instrument, you can borrow an instrument from somebody. And they say, well, I don't remember anything. Well, here's our rule. We don't care if you know how to play one note at a time, as long as you can play the one note you know on time. That's what's important. And so we have people of all different kinds of levels. The music we have is not difficult. We make it sound hard because of the way we try to express the emotions of what we're trying to draw out of the music. But the music is not that difficult. We meet once a week on Monday nights over at Cleveland High School. Jim Burton has graciously let us use the facility over there. The principal is really cooperative about letting us use the facility. They've got great equipment. We use their equipment. I mean, it's just, it's a what we have in our band program is a wonderful cooperation within the community to help maintain it, to help build it, and with your donations, really keep things going. I mean, to do the productions that we do is not inexpensive. We have to rent the facility. Each selection that we do, and we'll do anywhere between, on average, around 10 selections.
I believe there's 10 in this one.
Will cost in excess of $50. So there's $500 in music, plus the facility, plus all the incidentals and advertising and everything else, and we just could use some help. And it's a great program. Every time I try to put these things together, I get excited about it. My wife yells at me, my friends yell at me that I think too fast, and sometimes I tend to talk too fast, but my brain is so just working all the time. And this program, I'm not from Cleveland. I'm from New York. And my great-grandparents didn't come over for the Civil War. My great-grandparents came over, and they came over through Ellis Island. So in my background and my experience is different than what the background and experience is of the citizens of Bradley County in Cleveland. And I wanted to find out more about that background. And then I had to figure out, well, what story can I tell? How can I get people to understand, even if they're not from here, they're newly transplanted here, they're students here from Lee University, they have family that they're back to visit again. How has this citizenry, how has these people finally pulled together to create a whole Bradley County, a whole Cleveland City, and how can we take that and build a whole nation once again? And like I said in the very beginning of the program is called April 1865. A lot of things were going on in April 1865.
Yes, they were.
The assassination of our President Lincoln. So many other things going on besides that affected the building of this nation, till finally we figured out that we have to build one nation under God.
Absolutely. Don, this has been so much fun to talk to you today.
It's great, and I'm sorry I missed wearing the great,
I'm
wonderful
so sorry.
sweater.
We might get you an honorary
sweater. Yeah, we might get you an honorary sweater.
So how long is the production? How long will it
Well,
last?
I've got it timed to be about 72 minutes.
It's got it down pat.
Yeah,
yeah, because I have to.
You have to, don't you?
Because the horn players need a chop break, and I've got.
We all have to have a chop
We
break.
don't take an intermission. We go straight through.
And tell the time and date again.
It's going to be April 24th. It's a Tuesday night over at Bradley High School.
Free.
And it's free, and we start at 7 o'clock, and we should be done by about 8:15.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
A lot of work.
Don, thank you so much. We're going to have to go to a real quick commercial break, but we'll be back, so don't you all go away.
Discover great local programming right here on WTMB East Tennessee Television. Tune in weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. for Tennessee Valley This Morning to find out what's going on in your local area. Watch East Tennessee Shopper with Joe and Kim Palo live every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Get caught up in all the latest sports action. Watch In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson. Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with replays at midnight. All this and more on WTMB East Tennessee Television.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what two of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much, and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
Hello, I'm Dr. Gupta, and I'd like to introduce you to a valuable new healthcare solution here in Cleveland. Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open and accepting patients. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue syndrome, and even sports injuries and sprains. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level in the body. This increased oxygen level in our tissues and organs boosts the body's natural healing abilities and allows our bodies to function at a higher level. We will be happy to work in cooperation with your regular physician. However, referral is not required for this treatment. So whether you're dealing with a weekend injury, a chronic medical condition, or looking for anti-aging solutions, you owe it to yourself to explore what hyperbaric oxygen treatment can do for you or your loved ones. I invite you to contact us today for some more information.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
are back, folks, and the same gentleman that was sitting here before is still sitting here. And I want to tell you that I really thought Brenda Hughes and Chelsea Long were going to be with us this morning, but they are both ill. So Brenda was going to talk to us about BIC, and Chelsea was going to talk to us about the new middle school program they have for endangered youth. So I'll try to get them back on with us to talk about that. But I'm so glad that Don didn't mind staying with us for a few minutes. Don Bendrum, he's the director of the Greater Cleveland Community Concert Bands. And that is plural because we have more than one. And I want to tell you that my grandfather used to play in the Etowah band. They even had uniforms, and they played at the gazebo, and it was the Etowah Community Band, and he played French horn.
Oh, wow.
And so it was a city band in Etowah, and they played, I think, like every Saturday afternoon at the gazebo.
That's where you got your talent from.
Yeah, well, anyway. But I don't play French horn, though. I play last chair flute. But
you play.
Sure she
play something.
Somebody tried to take my chair the other night, and I said, no, I am last chair. You have to sit on the other side of me. But when we talk about the community band, this is a band for everybody.
Right, it is for everybody. If you played in high school or played in junior high, there's a place. We're not professionals. But we've got what's really nice is that we've got this gamut of people for that used to play years ago that are, and then we've got people that are playing now, and then we have the Lee University students who give their time to also come and play with us. And it just, here we are with Lee University, which is a super program over there. Coming over to play with us too. Why? Because they simply enjoy playing, and it's a nice relax for them because over at school, you're tied into, oh my God, this is for a grade.
Right.
And now finally you get to play for fun, And so I try to make it fun. I take a day off from the shop so I can get my head straight and not go take the stresses of work into the band room. And we would try to make sure we all have a good time.
And it is fun. And folks, I had played, sitting at the piano, playing Christmas carols, maybe doing a few things like that. But honestly, I graduated from high school a few years ago, and so I had not really picked up the flute to play, like this with a group. And I've enjoyed it. I mean, I sit last chair. I'm going to stay last chair, but and we have some people that fight to be first chair. That's not me. I am not going there. But, it's fun. And it has been a challenge for me. I've had to work on fingering, those high notes on the flute. There's a change in fingering.
Back together again.
You have to get all of that. You have to know what you're doing. And it's been fun. And I've tried to get other people in the community to come join us.
Well, what's first chair, last chair for those of us that aren't band oriented?
In our band, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's like,
so
okay.
First is you're more talented, or no?
The first chair is the person that's better, supposedly.
No,
and the last chair is the person who's not as good as all the others.
But she's proud of it.
Right. And
I don't mind.
And the way I figure it is this. Yeah, there's people that are better. There's people better than all of us.
But you're having fun.
But we're sitting here and we're going, it's not about the chair. Finally, it's not about the chair you sit in. It's about sitting down with people who like to play and sharing that experience. Bradley High School sends over a lot of their students. We get students from all the high schools to come play with us. Why? Because it's so relaxing. They don't have to worry about for a grade. They don't have to worry about the band director jumping down their throat hard, I yell at folks a little bit. I kind of tease them some. But it isn't, I want to make sure we're all having a good time and we're all working together. Cleveland, back in 1911, the dedication for the monument for the Civil War.
Which is going to be an interesting story.
Yeah. The Cleveland Band played there. At that time, we had a community band called the Cleveland Band, and it was actually funded by the city to a tune of $25 a month.
Oh my gosh.
No, wait a minute now.
That was probably a lot of money.
That was a lot of money then.
I did the inflation math because I like to rib the mayor a little bit. The inflation math works out to be $500 a month. We'll take $6,000.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes
we'll
a
take
difference, wouldn't it?
$6,000. We can do something with that. So they played America down there for that event there, and they had some dancers, and of course all the Civil War guys got together there that. It's an interesting story. We'll be touching on that one for the show too. So you know, there were back then, before there was television, before there was radio. In 1911, we had some radio. Before there was distractions away, people had pianos and instruments in their house. They didn't watch TV. They played on their instruments.
Right.
They didn't listen to the radio. They had a community band. They didn't turn on their iPod. You know, their iPod back then consisted of 24 people. and if you want to listen to 24 people, you have to drag them with you in your pocket.
That's true.
You know,
Very
so
true.
it wasn't as so. People had a lot different ways to spend their recreational time, and this way to give back to your community. This way to take your recreational time that you used to do for a grade in school, that maybe you've done in the past for a paycheck, you know, somewheres at some club or maybe at church. This is a way to play a different style of music and to give. Now, we've got the concert band does concert style music. We also do the stage band, which has the jazzy style of music, which is more pop, rock. We do a blend of that because we're marketable. We're doing some things at the end of March, March 30th, over across the street from the store at Central Park Hamburger. We're having Burgers and Blues in the park.
And that should be
And
fun.
that'd be fun.
It's going to be outdoor. Now, usually when I do this, as our fundraiser for the band program, is we have it in the store and you pay $5 at the door, and $5 gets you all the hamburgers you can eat. Okay? But this year, the owners over there have been gracious enough to sit there and say, look, what we're going to do instead is you guys go, we'll have it over here. We'll set up the band. We'll set up picnic tables, and then when you run out, bring your own chairs. And we'll donate 10% of our sales for the day. For the day,
not just through that performance, for the day.
Those are new owners
to the
too.
program. I mean, it's just, and they've always given us free hamburgers, you know, to do this, and now they're saying, hey, we'll just do this as part of our sales. So they're super.
That is wonderful. So now this is
What date?
March
30th is a
30th,
Friday night.
Friday night, and it starts at
It starts at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
And then we'll usually go from 7 to 8:30 in that neighborhood, you know, before it gets too dark, because we'll have lights up and stuff.
Right.
But it's going to be the big band. We'll have about 22 people.
I started to say what constitutes the big band. 22 people.
22
Okay.
people. We got 4 or 5 trumpets, 4 or 5 trombones, 5 saxophones. We got Mika Roberts on drums. She's a riot.
She's hot. I mean, she is really good.
I tease her because it's like Mika's 1.5 people because she's pregnant.
Well, but she plays the drums like she's 1.5 people too.
And she gets all excited and everything. Mika, watch the water. Yeah. You know?
She's really, really good. In fact, a group from our band played in Athens. They did Guys and Dolls up there at the Sue Trotter Black Box Theater.
It's one of our
which we
combos,
need.
yeah.
One of their combos, and Mika played drums for that.
Right. So, I mean, you were talking about this group that's coming that put programs together and plays. What was the name of the group again that you had in your little newsletter?
Oh, the
Stageworks.
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 You know, I mean, so Stageworks needs a pit orchestra. Hello, here's an organization that can provide a pit orchestra for a program that they've got.
Again, the community working together.
Right. I mean, no sense in doing 76 trombones from the Music Man with 88 keys on the piano.
That's true.
I've heard that. That's
I
pretty
have
scary.
played on, and it's sad.
You know,
it is sad.
And it's well, we couldn't afford a band. We didn't have the space. Well, here's one organization that can make a donation to another organization and help everybody out.
Right. And it is the Greater Cleveland Community Concert Bands. So we have the big concert band.
Concert band. It's Greater Cleveland Community Bands, which consists of the concert band, the stage band,
which is 22 people.
We have combos, which range from soloist. We got we can do a solo for if you've got maybe a small party or something. We have an excellent guitarist, Damian Sidopoulos.
Oh, okay.
He's out of Charleston area, and he is just super. And he's a wonderful soloist. Then we take Damien and we build around him. We give him a bass player and a drummer, and then they can go off and do a small ensemble work. Then we take the bass player, the drummer, and a guitar guy, and we add a horn player. So now we got a quartet. Then we take the quartet, we add some more to it, and duets and stuff, and we got 9 pieces. So you don't have to take the big band. You can do a 9-piece band and have a nice big band style sound.
Or a 3-piece.
Or you can do a 3-piece or a soloist and everything. We'd love to play at restaurants for a donation. I mean, rather than a place having an expense of hiring a musician, it's a donation that they get to write off on their taxes rather than having the expense. The expense goes to somebody who's paying their grocery bill, but this expense goes to this expense as a donation goes to help people. We've had several instances where, of course, in these economic times, some families have not been able to make payments on their instruments, or they've lost an instrument in a tornado. And who did they come to? They came to the Greater Cleveland Bands, and they said, "Can you help us?" And we have.
That's right.
We've helped several folks who have economic times with an instrument. We've helped some others that lost instruments in the tornadoes. I mean, that's what we're about. Well, I have a little saying that I use. It's we help keep music live. And you can also look at it as we make music live, using the same word. And that we keep it in the community. And
that's wonderful. And these people need to understand. I've been to the museum a couple of times when the 3-piece and the 4-piece
we played
has played.
Yeah.
I loved him, Jack Mitchell, who has passed away, but Jack was a phenomenal drummer, and he would be part of some of these small combos, and it was great. It was just, it classed up the joint. It really did. So Don, thank you so much for being on with us today and talking about this. And,
it's been fun.
And it has been. And it has been fun to me.
It's been informative.
For me to be playing in the band. I've enjoyed it. It's challenging, and those of you out there that don't think you're that good, I'm not, but I'm having a good time.
Come play. If you're a history buff, come to the show. If you're even more of a history buff and you have, old style uniforms and old style garb, costume, come on by. Give me a call. We'll have a meeting together with everybody, and I'll tell you what we need to have done. It's
going to be awesome. It's very emotional, very moving. Reenactors, photographs,
the reenactors.
Tudor Music. See Don. We need you for our performance on April the 24th. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Hello, I'm Dr. Gupta, and I'd like to introduce you to a valuable new healthcare solution here in Cleveland. Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open and accepting patients. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue syndrome, and even sports injuries and sprains. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level in the body. This increased oxygen level in our tissues and organs boosts the body's natural healing abilities and allows our bodies to function at a higher level. We will be happy to work in cooperation with your regular physician. However, referral is not required for this treatment. So whether you're dealing with a weekend injury, a chronic medical condition, or looking for anti-aging solutions, you owe it to yourself to explore what hyperbaric oxygen treatment can do for you or your loved ones. I invite you to contact us today for some more information.
Discover great local programming right here on WTMB East Tennessee Television. Tune in weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. for Tennessee Valley This Morning to find out what's going on in your local area. Watch East Tennessee Shopper with Joe and Kim Palo live every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Get caught up in all the latest sports action. Watch In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with replays at midnight. All this and more on WTMB East Tennessee Television.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone, and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what two of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25-30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
And we are back, and it is Anne-Marie and Nancy are going to do a song and dance for you and try to fill the rest of this time. I'm so sorry that Brenda Hughes and Chelsea Long are ill today.
Yeah, they're both ill.
Both called sick, and so they were supposed to be our guests today talking about big.
Can't find anybody at 6:30 in the morning
No,
to come in.
You don't get on the phone at 5 o'clock in the morning and say, especially to
Can you be
females
here at 6:30?
who need to do their makeup and their hair.
That's
you know,
right.
and so we're just gonna wing it. We had Don for 2 sessions, and I appreciate him. And I'll do a little plug here. The First Street Square, which is right there at my shop on Emmett Street,
right.
in my back door, we will have music every Thursday from 12 to 1, every Thursday in April from 12 to 1. And I believe it's April the 12th will be one of these little bands that Don was talking about.
That's exciting.
Will be there to play. And so what you do is you bring your lawn chair, and you either pick up a burger at CBC or get you a fish dinner at Catch, or go to one of the other nice restaurants downtown, or pack your own lunch.
Right.
And bring your lawn chair and come sit out there at that marvelous little mall we have in the stage, and on Thursdays in April from 12 to 1, and there'll be entertainment.
And the weather's going to be beautiful. I told you all that earlier.
It is,
for the
Amber
next
told you.
3 months.
For the next 3 months,
Yeah.
it's going to be
80
beautiful.
degrees.
So write that down, and then Evening Shade starts in May on Friday evenings, and I'll have Kyle Elrod on starting in April to tell us. But I do know the first night is E.G. Kite, who is wonderful, because Flavis and I oftentimes go to the Chattanooga Billiard Club in Chattanooga to hear E.G. Blues, great blues singer. And I think the Sounds of Tennessee Barbershop are going to open for her that night. So a lot of interesting, exciting things go on in Cleveland.
Our town has a lot going on.
Tell me about the Civitan Park and where we are on that, because it's so exciting.
Exciting news. We've just found out today, David Cummings and I were on a while back talking about the fundraiser that we've done for 2 years, and we achieved our goal, which was $225,000. Thought we'd die through the process.
For a club of 30 people.
Yeah. But we did get a discount for. I want to give kudos to Game Time, because they figured out if we could get the equipment delivered before the end of the year, which I'm sure helped them in their inventory too, they would give us a large discount. And we had someone in the community, Linco, donated their buildings, and it's all sitting there. And if any of y'all have seen any articles in the paper or the chamber newsletter, it's unbelievable the amount of equipment that arrived. I mean, we have pictures of the playground all this time, but when it's broken down into pieces, it was overwhelming. Overwhelming. It took up. It was 2 tractor trailer trucks full of equipment. So where we are now is we actually had a meeting yesterday, at noon, and the Cleveland City will be, I don't know if it's the end of March, which is just like next week.
Yes, it is.
Or the 1st of April, but they're scheduled to come in and tear down all the existing except for some of the swings, and then start preparing that site for the new equipment. And the first thing that has to be done is, measuring out where everything's going to go, because we've decided to save on money too, is to put some the wood chip, some the other, I don't know what all that stuff is called.
I remember Dave told us about it, but I forgot.
Surfacing.
There's a surface.
Dave knows all that. So they'll get that ready, and then a project manager, we found out at the meeting, will be arriving shortly after that, and he will bring 3 people with him from the company. We'll need to get the equipment there. That'll be the next big effort. We'll have a groundbreaking, and with the city officials and game time. And for those of you that didn't hear the program then, the other part of this that we found out in the whole 2-year process, and Game Time told us this, and they have actual documentation, that we were the first inclusive playground in the world, in Cleveland, Tennessee.
The first, right here in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Inclusive is the key word. Not the first playground,
right,
but the first inclusive playground where children with special needs could use the equipment and the everyday child. So we were really excited. So they want to be very involved in the groundbreaking. And then once it's all built, we'll have an actual open the playground. We're thinking about having a day where we all go down there and spread some wood chip and then say the doors are open and the Stewart Park kids will come out, because the PTO has been so helpful in raising money for us, and they'll probably be part of this whole process too. So that's what happened, and what's going to happen is there'll be a volunteer coordinator starting to call out in the community, because several organizations have said they would help us with the building. And I've told people all along, it's just like putting Legos together. So you're not going to be out there with the concrete and the construction, you know, of the shelter and all that.
Anything like that, right.
That will be there. There'll be shovels, and we have to actually get all of that equipment ready. But you'll be doing a job that Nancy and I could do.
Right.
You know, it's not manual labor. So there'll be probably 5 to 7 people needed each day to help these project people for 2 weeks.
And that is awesome. And folks, let me tell you how exciting this is too. But don't wreck your car doing it. But if you're going south on Keith Street,
right,
you can glance over there right before you get to Stewart School and watch all this happening.
Yep.
And I think that's wonderful.
And they say we should be done in 2 weeks. Now again, I don't know the inception date. It'll depend on tear down and site preparation.
Right.
And we still have to actually, we're still calling some people for some donations to finish the project. So you'll watch it as it happens. You'll see it happening, you know, in every day from site preparation to the beginning. But what I was going to say is the volunteer coordinator will start calling all these people that have said we want to help. Habitat said they'd help. Some of the civic clubs, M&M did a car wash for us. I was at Amazon the other day. They're going to help us also.
Wow.
So we're going to call and get people out there on designated days. You know, you can do a day, you can do a morning, you can do an afternoon, so that we have this completed in 2 weeks, and hopefully by May, you know, before school's out, the kids will get to enjoy it.
And I think that's wonderful. And folks, Anne-Marie has been gracious co-host today, and I really appreciate it. And the fact that Dawn stayed an extra session, and Anne-Marie has talked about the Civitan Park, this section, because again, Brenda Hughes and Chelsea Long were unable to be with, both of them got up sick this morning, and it's like Anne-Marie said, you cannot call somebody at 5 o'clock in the morning and get them here. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, because I think we've had a good day today. And even though we had to ad-lib a little and threaten to do our song and dance routine.
We can always talk, you know that.
We can. Anne-Marie and I can always talk. It's just some things we can't talk about on TV, but that's okay.
That's another show.
That's a whole other show. That's right. We talk about that during the commercial breaks and before we leave every day. But I thank you for being
You're
on
welcome.
today.
I always enjoy it.
Well, you're great to be my call-in co-host, and
only, you know, you got to give me a little day's notice.
I can't call you.
I'm not one of those at 5 o'clock in the morning.
No, I can't call her at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I think Brene will be back with us next week, and but I do need to have Anne-Marie on as a guest before
we have
too
things
long,
coming
because
up.
there's things coming up at Sky Ridge, Healthy Woman things coming up, Senior Circle things coming up, a lot of activities and a lot of things. And also I want to get them on here right before the Civitan Park, so we could say,
this is what we're doing. And I'll put a plug in for Sky Ridge. Anybody that wants to volunteer, call me, 559-6904. We're trying to build up our volunteer force again, and we're doing real well. I've got about 10 or 12 new volunteers in just this last month. So.
And the only thing, as a board member at Sky Ridge, that I ask of you as a volunteer, would you please smile at the people coming in? Just smile and be friendly, because that's very, very
Makes
important.
people feel well.
It does. And I mean, when you're coming into a hospital, you don't feel good anyway.
That's right. So
or
you want
scared
somebody to
because
smile.
You're going to have tests, or you're going to have, so smile. So if you're really good at smiling, Anne-Marie can use you over there.
And if you don't like to smile, I have rooms I can put you in, and you can do paperwork.
She can do that, and she can always use help with Healthy Woman.
Oh, we have tons of
Senior
stuff.
Circle,
Yeah.
and I think today's knitting day. For
it's
senior
either, yeah, it was
circle?
book club yesterday, knitting
Yeah,
day
I
today.
think 1 o'clock today is knitting day.
We have so
and
many activities, I don't even know how you're keeping up with that.
Well, I have the calendar, so that's how come I keep up with it.
And
I
they
have
travel so much now, I don't know when
Yes,
they're here or there.
I know, and they do enjoy all these trips, and they're wonderful, and they book up real fast. So if you're not a member of Senior Circle, I need to get you back to talk about how to do Senior Circle. But folks, we appreciate y'all being with us this morning. We apologize for the fact the show wasn't exactly what I had planned, but I thought it was wonderful.
We're here.
And we are here, and I will be back with you next week, and Renee will be back from being a grandmother. So, folks, see you. And
Bye.
Anne Marie, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend.